The Salt Hand, a cursed black ritual from the Borderlands. Have you ever heard of the Salt Hand? A forbidden black charm once whispered about in the southern border provinces of Vietnam during the last century? This is one of the most disturbing legends I have ever encountered. A ritual said to grant control over another person's will. But the price of owning it is constant terror, because the spirit of the dead never truly lets go. The Salt Hand is believed to have originated in Cambodia, born from ancient occult practices so dangerous that only the most ruthless sorcerers dared attempt them. To create the Salt Hand, the most essential ingredient is the arm of a person killed by lightning. Not everyone is capable of performing this ritual. It requires not only patience, but cruelty. The practitioner must secretly observe the victim's funeral. When night falls, they sneak into the cemetery and dig up the grave. From the corpse, they sever the arm cleanly at the elbow joint. The arm is then taken home, washed thoroughly with alcohol, and the fingers are forced into a clenched position. It is placed inside a ceramic jar filled with coarse salt. Before sealing the jar, the sorcerer must cut their own finger, letting their blood drip onto the arm inside, creating what is known as a blood bond between themselves and the restless spirit of the deceased. The jar must be kept warm at all times for 49 consecutive days. On the final day, the arm is placed on an altar. Incense is lit. An ancient Sanskrit incantation is recited. If, during the ritual, the fingers slowly open on their own, the curse has been successfully awakened. But if the jar is opened before the ritual is complete, the blood that settles at the bottom becomes a gateway for catastrophe, most often ending in the violent death of the practitioner. The Vinjia Incident. Stories of the Salt Hand are often tied to a chilling local legend from Vinjia Commune, Tri Ton District, in Giang Province, along the Vietnam-Cambodia border. In the early 20th century, there lived a man named Hoa. Hoa was a loner. His wife and children were slaughtered during the Ba Chuk massacre under the Pol Pot regime, leaving him with nothing but a decaying house and a life stripped of meaning. It was said that Hoa inherited the forbidden knowledge of the Salt Hand from his father. Around 1980, Hoa witnessed a farmer in the area struck dead by lightning while working in the fields. He was overjoyed. Like everyone else, Hoa attended the funeral and helped with preparations. No one suspected what he was truly planning. That night, he returned alone. He dug up the grave, opened the coffin, and with an axe, chopped off the arm at the elbow. The rituals that followed were said to be unspeakable. After 49 days, during the final ceremony, witnesses claimed the withered hand slowly opened its fingers. The curse had taken hold, a legend that never died. To this day, the Salt Hand remains an unsolved legend. People believe that anyone who attempts to wield such a curse will eventually pay with their own safety or their life. Those who abuse dark magic for greed will always be betrayed by it. In remote villages along the border, this story is still whispered as a warning. And if you ever pass through Vinjia, never linger inside an abandoned house, because it may once have belonged to someone who dared to practice the forbidden. Do not let curiosity lead you where you do not belong. Sometimes, all it takes is a single glance to awaken something that should never rise again. And if, on a rainy night, You catch the faint scent of salt drifting through the air and hear whispers with no source. Pray that the salt hand has not found you. I first heard this story from a friend in Longin. There are multiple versions of the legend, including one featured in the horror short story The Newly Built Grave by Nguyen Ngoc Nan, one of Vietnam's most renowned horror writers. All versions share one terrifying element: the use of a lightning-struck corpse to dominate the will of the living. Whether it is true or not remains unknown. But one thing is certain: Southeast Asian black magic is something you should never underestimate. Follow the channel and let me know in the comments if you want to hear more haunting, mysterious stories about the Salt Hand and the dark magic that refuses to rest.